The meeting between the Dalai Lama and Australian cricket captain Steve Smith in Dharamsala was an incredible intersection of sports and spirituality. What a beautiful, unexpected combination, a cricket team seeking wisdom from one of the world's most revered spiritual leaders. This encounter, which took place before a significant test series between Australia and India in March 2017, couldn't have been more perfectly timed. Both teams were under immense pressure, facing a crucial series decider. For Smith and his teammates, visiting the Dalai Lama's McLeod Ganj monastery became more than just a break from competitive cricket, it became an opportunity to discover profound lessons about emotional balance and tranquility, a lesson we all need. Don't we, feeling stressed? Learn from the Dalai Lama's wisdom. Subscribe for more lessons on inner peace. The Dalai Lama welcomed Steve Smith and the Australian cricket team with open arms. The setting was serene, with the majestic Himalayan mountains standing proudly in the background, radiating peace and reflection. What better place to learn about staying calm in times of stress? Amidst this serene beauty, Smith asked the Dalai Lama how to manage stress and sleep better, a concern we can all relate to, especially when life's pressures feel overwhelming. The Dalai Lama, with his characteristic humor and compassion, responded by emphasizing the importance of maintaining mental tranquility. He reminded Smith that cricket, at its core, is just a game, something that shouldn't consume one's peace of mind. Isn't it enlightening to hear that even the highest levels of competition should be approached with a sense of ease and perspective? The Dalai Lama greeted Smith with a traditional Tibetan gesture, a gentle rubbing of noses, a moment that Smith described as deeply humbling and inspiring. Imagine standing in front of such a revered figure, feeling his warmth and kindness. The Dalai Lama's blessings for Smith were not merely for better performance but for better sleep and relaxation, a clear indication that, at the end of the day, our well-being is what truly matters. During the meeting, the Dalai Lama spoke about compassion and mindfulness, core tenets of Tibetan Buddhism. He emphasized the importance of inner peace and kindness, not just towards others, but towards oneself. How often do we remember to be kind to ourselves, especially in times of stress? The players were reminded that cricket, although an important part of their lives, shouldn't dictate their emotional state or define their entire being. Isn't that a perspective we all could benefit from, realizing that our job or success does not define who we truly are? Steve Smith later reflected on the experience, sharing how special it was for him personally. The Dalai Lama's words resonated deeply, especially regarding sleep and stress management. It was a stark reminder of the human side of athletes. They aren't invincible, despite what the world may expect. They too face sleepless nights and the pressures of competition. Smith's honesty in admitting his struggles made the meeting even more meaningful, showcasing that even top athletes are in pursuit of balance and inner peace. What made this encounter even more special was the cultural blend it represented, the intense, competitive nature of international sports juxtaposed with the peaceful spirituality of Tibetan Buddhism. The players' usual pre-match routines involve rigorous training and strategic meetings, yet here they were, sitting at a monastery, contemplating broader human values like calmness, mindfulness, and compassion. How often do we get to step away from our routines and take a broader look at life? The players' realization that cricket is just a game allowed them to relax and play more freely. Isn't that a valuable reminder for all of us, to keep our challenges in perspective and remember to find joy in what we do? The Australian team was incredibly fortunate to have this experience. Not every team visiting Dharamsala gets the chance to meet the Dalai Lama in person. The English cricket team, for example, visited in 2013 but didn't get to interact directly with the spiritual leader. What an honor it was for Smith and his teammates. They took the Dalai Lama's teachings to heart, considering how they could integrate them into their approach to cricket and to life. His messages of compassion, mindfulness, and perspective provided a powerful new lens through which they could see not only the game but also their personal journeys. This meeting also brought to light the significance of mental health in sports. The Dalai Lama's teachings on inner peace and tranquility are relevant not just to cricket, but to everyone facing stress and anxiety. Athletes, often seen as symbols of physical prowess, face the same emotional struggles that many of us do. Imagine the pressure they must feel, expected to perform flawlessly while hiding their vulnerabilities. The Dalai Lama's compassionate approach served as a powerful reminder that mental well-being is just as crucial as physical fitness for anyone aiming for excellence. For Steve Smith, meeting the Dalai Lama was an experience that went beyond cricket. It offered him insights into life itself. What a wonderful reminder, even at the highest levels of competition, there's value in stepping back, reflecting, and finding inner peace. It's a lesson we can all apply to our own lives, don't you think? Sometimes we get so caught up in striving for success that we forget to nurture our inner selves. The Dalai Lama's words transcended the boundaries of sports, underscoring the universal relevance of mindfulness and compassion. The impact of the Dalai Lama's teachings extended far beyond that one meeting. It encouraged the Australian team to rethink their approach to challenges. Not just in the game but in their lives. The Dalai Lama's emphasis on the transient nature of difficulties and the importance of compassion helped the players see their struggles from a different perspective. Isn't it incredible how a shift in perspective can change everything? Suddenly, the stress of a must-win match becomes less daunting when you remember that challenges are temporary and that growth is what truly counts. The Dalai Lama's teachings on mindfulness were especially impactful. Mindfulness, being fully present in the moment, is a cornerstone of both Tibetan Buddhism and performance psychology. For these players, learning to stay focused on the here and now, rather than dwelling on past mistakes or worrying about future outcomes, was invaluable. This mindset is crucial in cricket, a game that demands concentration and adaptability. By embracing mindfulness, the players could bring clarity and focus to their performance. Isn't it something we all could use, the ability to face each moment without judgment, fully engaged, and without the burden of past regrets or future fears? Another key teaching from the Dalai Lama was about compassion, not just towards others, but towards oneself. In the competitive world of sports, athletes are often their own harshest critics. Have you ever been so hard on yourself that it only added to your stress? The Dalai Lama encouraged the players to practice self-compassion, to treat themselves with the same kindness they might show a friend. What a beautiful message, that by being kinder to ourselves, we can better navigate setbacks and see them as opportunities for growth rather than as failures. The Dalai Lama also spoke about interconnectedness, the idea that all beings and events are connected. This teaching helped the players understand their role in a broader context. Cricket is not just about individual performance, it's about teamwork, camaraderie, and the shared pursuit of a common goal. Recognizing this interconnectedness helped the players see their success as something collective, not just personal. It's a reminder for all of us that our efforts are part of something larger. When we uplift those around us, we all rise together. The Dalai Lama's reminder that cricket is just a game wasn't meant to diminish the players' passion or effort. Instead, it offered a broader perspective, one that is crucial for athletes who face immense scrutiny and pressure. Their worth isn't defined by their performance on the field. This understanding allowed the players to approach the game with more joy and freedom, liberated from the fear of failure. Isn't that the key to true fulfillment in any pursuit, to engage passionately without letting the outcome dictate our sense of worth? Ultimately, the meeting with the Dalai Lama was a profound experience for Steve Smith and the Australian cricket team. It gave them practical tools for navigating the pressures of international cricket and provided a fresh perspective on their careers and lives. The lessons of mindfulness, compassion, and perspective became part of their approach, helping them not only as athletes but as individuals striving for balance and fulfillment. This encounter underscored the importance of mental well-being in sports and demonstrated how spiritual teachings can have practical benefits even in the most competitive environments. The impact of this meeting continued to unfold as the players reflected on their experience. Steve Smith, in particular, took the Dalai Lama's teachings to heart, applying them not only during the matches but also in his day-to-day life. Imagine the transformation that can happen when someone in such a high-pressure role begins to truly internalize the principles of mindfulness and compassion. Smith found that by focusing on the present moment, he could let go of the anxieties that often accompanied the intense scrutiny of international cricket. He began to see cricket not as a battle to be fought but as a challenge to be embraced with joy and openness. Isn't that a beautiful shift, to see one's passion not as a burden but as an opportunity for growth and connection? The concept of mindfulness, which the Dalai Lama emphasized so deeply, became a cornerstone for the Australian team's approach. Imagine the players stepping onto the cricket field, not with fear or apprehension, but with a clear and focused mind, fully engaged in each moment. The teachings of mindfulness allowed them to face each delivery, each decision, with an unclouded perspective. It wasn't about winning or losing, it was about being fully present, doing their best, and accepting whatever outcome came their way. This approach not only improved their performance but also enriched their experience of the game itself. How often do we miss out on the beauty of the moment because we are too worried about what comes next? The Dalai Lama's teachings were a reminder to savor every moment. Whether it's on the cricket field or in our daily lives, one of the most striking aspects of the meeting was the Dalai Lama's focus on compassion, a concept that is often overlooked in the hyper-competitive world of sports. Compassion towards oneself and towards others can be a game-changer, can't it? For the Australian players, this meant acknowledging their own struggles and understanding that mistakes are a natural part of any journey. It also meant supporting their teammates through their highs and lows, recognizing that their collective strength was far greater than the sum of their individual talents. The Dalai Lama's words encouraged them to be gentler with themselves and more understanding towards others. Imagine the positive energy that must have flowed within the team as they began to view each other not just as fellow players but as individuals sharing a common journey, each deserving of compassion and respect. The idea of interconnectedness, which the Dalai Lama shared with the team, was another profound lesson. Cricket is often seen as a team sport, but it's easy for players to become consumed by their individual performances. The Dalai Lama's teachings helped the players see beyond their personal achievements and recognize the importance of their collective efforts. Isn't it amazing how a shift in focus from me to we can change everything? The players began to understand that their successes and failures were interconnected, that each of them had a role in uplifting the entire team. This realization fostered a deeper sense of unity and camaraderie, which translated into their performance on the field. The Dalai Lama's teachings reminded them that true success is not just about personal accolades but about contributing to something greater than oneself. As the series continued, the players found themselves drawing on the Dalai Lama's teachings in unexpected ways. The pressures of international cricket are immense, with every mistake scrutinized by millions of fans and critics. In such an environment, it's easy to become overwhelmed by fear of failure. But the Dalai Lama's reminder that cricket is just a game helped the players put things in perspective. Isn't it liberating to remember that? No matter how high the stakes, our worth is not determined by a single outcome. This perspective allowed the players to play with more freedom, to take risks without the fear of failure holding them back. It was a powerful lesson not just for the cricket field, but for life, that our value is not tied to our successes or failures, but to the effort and intention we bring to each moment. The Dalai Lama's influence extended beyond the cricket series. His teachings on mindfulness and compassion had a lasting impact on the players, who began to incorporate these principles into their daily routines. Steve Smith, for example, spoke about how he started practicing mindfulness meditation regularly. He found that even just a few minutes of meditation each day helped him stay centered and focused, both on and off the field. Isn't it incredible how such a simple practice can have such profound effects? The Dalai Lama's guidance helped Smith realize that mental training is just as important as physical training, a lesson that many of us could benefit from in our own lives. The Australian team's experience with the Dalai Lama also highlighted the importance of mental health in sports. Athletes are often seen as invincible, but the reality is that they face the same mental and emotional challenges as anyone else, if not more so, given the intense pressure they are under. The Dalai Lama's compassionate approach provided a safe space for the players to acknowledge their vulnerabilities and seek support. It was a powerful reminder that seeking help is not a sign of weakness but a step towards greater strength and resilience. How often do we hesitate to ask for help because we fear it will make us look weak? The Dalai Lama's teachings encourage the players, and by extension all of us, to embrace our humanity, with all its imperfections, and to treat ourselves with the same compassion we would offer a friend. The Dalai Lama's message of mindfulness, compassion, and interconnectedness also had a ripple effect beyond the Australian team. The media coverage of the meeting brought these teachings to a broader audience, inspiring countless fans and spectators. People around the world saw their cricketing heroes embracing spiritual teachings, seeking wisdom beyond the boundaries of their sport. It was a powerful reminder that no matter how successful or accomplished we may be, there is always room for growth, reflection, and a deeper understanding of ourselves and the world around us. Isn't it inspiring to see role models like Steve Smith openly embracing these values, showing that true strength lies not just in physical prowess but in emotional and spiritual resilience? The Dalai Lama's teachings on the importance of balance also resonated deeply with the players. Cricket, like many high-stakes professions, can easily become all-consuming. The players are constantly under pressure to perform, to win, to meet the expectations of fans, coaches, and themselves. In such an environment, it's easy to lose sight of the bigger picture, to forget that there is more to life than the next match, the next score, the next win. The Dalai Lama's words were a gentle yet powerful reminder to maintain a sense of balance, to remember that cricket is just one part of their lives, not the entirety of their existence. Isn't that a lesson we could all use, to remember that our work, our achievements, are just one aspect of who we are, not the sum total of our worth? The players began to see the value in taking time for themselves, in nurturing their mental and emotional well-being just as they did their physical fitness. They started to understand that by taking care of their inner selves, they could actually perform better on the field. Imagine the difference it makes to step onto the field not weighed down by stress and anxiety but with a sense of calm and confidence, knowing that no matter what happens, you are more than the outcome of a single match. The Dalai Lama's teachings gave the players permission to care for themselves, to prioritize their well-being, and to find joy in the game once again. The meeting with the Dalai Lama was a profound experience that went beyond the boundaries of cricket. It was a reminder that no matter how intense the competition, how high the stakes, there is always room for compassion, mindfulness, and a broader perspective. The Dalai Lama's teachings transcended the world of sports, offering lessons that are universally applicable, lessons about the importance of inner peace, the power of compassion, and the value of being present in each moment. For Steve Smith and the Australian cricket team, these teachings were not just advice for a single match, they were guidance for life, offering them a path to greater resilience, well-being, and a deeper appreciation of the journey beyond the scoreboard. The players carried these lessons with them long after they left Dharamsala. They found that the principles of mindfulness and compassion helped them navigate not just the challenges of cricket but the ups and downs of life itself. Isn't it incredible how a single meeting, a few hours spent in the presence of a spiritual leader, can have such a lasting impact? The Dalai Lama's teachings became a touchstone for the players, a source of strength and inspiration that they could draw upon whenever they faced difficulties. Whether it was the pressure of a high-stakes match or the challenges of everyday life, the players found comfort in the Dalai Lama's words, in the reminder that they were more than their achievements, that their worth was inherent and unchanging. For Steve Smith, in particular, the meeting with the Dalai Lama was a turning point. It helped him find a sense of balance and perspective that had been missing in his life. He began to see cricket not just as a career but as a passion, a joy, something to be embraced with an open heart rather than a source of constant stress and pressure. The Dalai Lama's teachings helped him reconnect with the reasons he had fallen in love with the game in the first place, the thrill of competition, the camaraderie with teammates, the joy of playing a sport he loved. Isn't it wonderful how a change in perspective can help us reconnect with our passions, to find joy in the things we once loved but may have lost sight of in the pursuit of success? The Dalai Lama's influence also extended to the way the players approached their relationships with each other. The emphasis on compassion and interconnectedness helped them see their teammates not just as fellow players but as individuals with their own struggles, fears, and dreams. This understanding fostered a deeper sense of empathy and support within the team. Imagine the difference it makes to play alongside teammates who truly care for each other, who lift each other up in times of difficulty, who celebrate each other's successes as if they were their own. The Dalai Lama's teachings helped create an environment where the players felt supported and valued, not just for their performance on the field but for who they were as individuals. The meeting with the Dalai Lama was a reminder that, at its core, cricket is a game, a beautiful, thrilling, challenging game, but a game nonetheless. It is not life or death, it is not the measure of one's worth. The Dalai Lama's words helped the players put things in perspective, to see the game for what it was, a passion, a joy, an opportunity to grow and learn, but not the be-all and end-all of their existence. Isn't it freeing to remember that our worth is not tied to our achievements, that we are more than the sum of our successes and failures? The Dalai Lama's teachings offered the players a sense of freedom, a release from the pressure to be perfect, a reminder that it is okay to make mistakes. To fail, to be human. The impact of the Dalai Lama's teachings on the Australian cricket team serves as a powerful reminder of the importance of mental well-being in sports. In a world that often prioritizes physical performance and results, it is easy to overlook the mental and emotional aspects of the game. But the Dalai Lama's teachings showed that true success comes not just from physical strength and skill but from inner peace, mental clarity, and a compassionate heart. Isn't that a lesson we could all take to heart, that true success is not just about what we achieve but about how we achieve it, about the state of mind and heart we bring to each challenge, for the players? The Dalai Lama's teachings became a source of strength, a reminder that no matter what happened on the field, they were more than their performance, more than their achievements. They learned that true strength comes not from winning every match but from the ability to face each challenge with grace, compassion, and an open heart. The Dalai Lama's words helped them see that cricket was not just about scoring runs or taking wickets, it was about the journey, the growth, the lessons learned along the way. Isn't that what life is all about, embracing each moment, each challenge, each opportunity for growth, with an open heart and a compassionate spirit? The meeting between the Dalai Lama and the Australian cricket team was a beautiful intersection of sports and spirituality. A reminder that no matter how high the stakes, there is always room for compassion, mindfulness, and a broader perspective. The Dalai Lama's teachings transcended the boundaries of cricket, offering lessons that are universally applicable, lessons about the importance of inner peace, the power of compassion, and the value of being present in each moment. For Steve Smith and his team, the Dalai Lama's words were not just advice for a single match, they were guidance for life, offering them a path to greater resilience, well-being, and a deeper appreciation of the journey beyond the scoreboard. In the end, the Dalai Lama's message was simple yet profound: be kind, be present, be compassionate. Whether on the cricket field or in our daily lives, these principles can help us navigate the challenges we face, find joy in the journey, and connect more deeply with ourselves and others. For Steve Smith and the Australian cricket team, the meeting with the Dalai Lama was an experience that left a lasting impact, a reminder that true success is not just about winning matches but about the growth, the joy, and the connection that come from embracing each moment with an open heart. And isn't that the essence of a life well lived?